Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Fiona and I'm a full-time artist. And on this channel, I like to take you with me on my artistic journey, whether that means working on projects in my studio, sharing art supplies with you, going out and doing public art projects or art fairs, just any art-related content. So if that sounds like something you're into, please like and subscribe. It's one free click for you, but it makes a big difference for my channel. All right, friends, as you can see, I am not in my studio right now. I'm currently traveling, so I'm in a hotel room, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you my current travel art supplies. The last time I did a travel art supply video, I think was maybe 2 years ago. I'll link it below so you can check it out or somewhere up here. But that travel art supply kit was sort of when I was going away for a longer trip. And for this one, it's just a short weekend trip, so it's not as many supplies, but I thought I would share it with you regardless and see what you think. First of all, I have my Sketchbook Club sketchbook. That was also a recent video that I did that I'll link below for you. I joined a local sketchbook club at my arts council, and this is where it's at so far, looking very colorful. The current thread I'm working on as of yesterday is this. But I ran out of this microline pen, so I ventured out to Barnes & Noble's this morning. That was the nearest thing to the hotel, and this is what I picked up. So this green is the color that was in that set. I was also out of the orange and the purple, so when I saw this, I was like, great, I'll pick up the entire set. What I think was interesting, though, is this is branded for Bible, and it actually has the colors associated religiously. I just thought that was interesting. So like, for instance, yellow is God, orange is salvation, green, new faith, blue is sin. So just very interesting that it's religiously branded. That may be clear. I have nothing against religion, but I thought for art supplies, it was an interesting choice. And I personally had never seen it. And I was going back in my mind wondering, are all of them branded this way? And I couldn't quite remember. So if you've seen this or you're aware of it, leave a comment below. But it was at Barnes & Noble's in like the pen section amongst other stuff. So I thought that that was interesting. It cost me around $19. I don't have the receipt next to me, so I'll leave it up here, the exact price. But it is their Studio Series microline. So let's open it up and I can show you. Easy enough to open up. But I like to use these in sketchbooks if we want to focus. The microline series, these are very thin. You can see extremely thin nib on this, but it's waterproof, fade proof, for fine line precision. So this one's what's it say? This is a 0.25 millimeter, and yeah, I use these a lot. It's their Studio Series, but I will definitely be looking a little bit deeper into this particular branding for it, and yeah, let me know below if you've heard of this before. The other thing I picked up was I had to go to Target to like get some ginger ales and stuff for the room, and I have a watercolor brush which I'll show you in my case, but I didn't bring my Winsor Newton like travel kit, and I was like, you know, if I want to work on a bit of watercolor in this sketchbook this weekend, I don't want to buy a whole other Winsor Newton kit because it is, you know, quite expensive. So this was at Target in like their back to school section, and it's literally $2, or I think it was like $1.49 watercolors. Once again, I don't have the receipt. I'll leave the actual price up here. Mundo Llama is the brand. It's obviously associated with Target. I've never used it before, so we'll try it out and see what it looks like. But you know, 8 colors, it comes with a little brush, and it'll be totally fine for what I'm doing in my sketchbook. But I haven't seen this brand before. Let's open it up. I will say, as I'm opening up this. I felt really silly that I had to pick up those microline pens because I would have picked them up at Hyatt's when I was there, but I told myself, you already have those, Fiona. You don't need them. And then when I sat down to use them yesterday in my kit, like 3 of them weren't working, and I was like, good job. Sometimes it's hard to know what supplies we have until we actually start using them. But anyway, let's open this. So, take this off. It's cute. Just a little watercolor set. I mean, effectively probably for children, but works for the purposes that I'm gonna need. We're gonna try it out in this sketchbook after I show you everything, but cute, right? I wonder if it'll actually fit in my case. It might. It might fit if I can get this thing off. Anyway, the last thing that I couldn't resist that I saw at Target in their back to school section were these Paper Mate pens. I don't know if it's just me, but in sketchbooking, I really like these, and it's like a nice contrast to the really hyper thin Microline Studio series, which is, I guess you would say, more professional grade. Just fun to play with, and they had like a promo on this, so I don't know, I think it was like 10 bucks. So I picked it up, and it comes with a few metallics, which I don't currently have in my kit, so yeah, I thought that that was like a fun little purchase. Let's open it. It says this pack includes 12 felt tip pens, 10.7 millimeter medium point, and 2.7 millimeter metallic medium point, smear and fade resistance, and no bleed. It won't bleed through the paper. We're gonna find out if that's the case. Okay, let's see what we got. There's a tray. Ta-da! Pretty colors. The metallics are like different than the other ones. Or they were just upside down. No, they're a little bit different. They don't have the clip on it. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll do a quick swatch of these to see what they look like. All right, so that's just a few randoms I picked up for this weekend, but now we're gonna go through my actual case. I got this a few years ago off of Amazon. My typical travel one's a bit larger, but since, like I said, it's only a weekend, I only brought my smaller one along with the sketchbook, and then obviously I picked up a few things because I can't help myself. But anyway, let's open it and take a look. So first of all, there's this slot, which I'm gonna put some of the new pens that I picked up. And then on this side, I have a bit of washi tape in orange. I have a little eraser. I have some clips for clipping the sketchbook open, and I should have a pencil sharpener in here, but it's probably in the main thing where I dropped it in. And then in the main compartment, we got lots of stuff. So let me empty it and show you. Okay, so first of all, I have these watercolor brushes, where these are pretty neat. You put the water in this end. So you just twist this off, and you can fill this part with water. And then when you put this on, you know, if you squeeze it, water will come out, and you just dip it in your paint, and then you can move things around. So this will be good for the watercolors. So I have 2 of them here, like a thicker and a thinner nib on it. And I'll leave a link to these off Amazon in the description below. And then I have a set of Faber-Castell brush pens, which I love playing with these in my sketchbook. Here's the colors that I have. So it looks like I had like a blue set. So I have quite a few of those, and then a few pops of color. I particularly like this magenta and teal moment. But let me open one so you can see what they look like. So a nice brush nib on that. And the color saturation is really nice. I do get some bleed through in this particular sketchbook since the page is a bit thinner. But, oh, this is Cobalt Green 156. India ink, waterproof, high light fastness, acid free. But Faber-Castell, I know a few of you had commented in a previous video that that's what you like to use. I also very much like to use them. High recommend. Here is my Micro Line Studio series. So you guys saw that I got that new pack, so I'm just gonna take out these three because they bit the dust. Actually, the pink also did. So these are the three I have left from the old one, so I was needing to replace them unbeknownst to me. I do use them quite a lot in my work, so happy to have those replaced. And then I have some Prismacolor colored pencils here. So these are from a few different sets that I've had over the years. But some nice colors. As you can see, I'm like particular to green in this set and blue. A favorite of mine in this set is this color. So this is vermilion, and this is definitely my favorite color in this set. Really nice. And if you've had Prismacolors before, they're just like very creamy and nice to work with. Once again, a high recommend. I have 3 Pilot pens, which I most recently picked up at Hyatt's. A lot of you might be actually coming from that video I posted last week about my trip there. Thank you very much if you did subscribe and you're following along now. It's really nice to have you here and a part of the family. But I brought those along and I've already been using them in my sketchbook. But once again, it will be another video I link to below, so if you want to see some more details about them, you could check that out there. I have a good old Sharpie with the double end. Can't go wrong with that. I feel like you need that in every kit, but you are going to get bleed through in your sketchbook when using a Sharpie, but I don't know. I feel like it's just sort of an artist essential. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I also have a ballpoint pen, which is Bic. That's always good to have on hand. And then I have a few Stabilo pens, .88 fine. I guess I just threw these in. It's like not the entire set. Well, probably couldn't fit them in that small case, so I just picked 3 random colors here. So here these are. Show you the nib. Once again, very fine line. I have a lot of fine line pens, but yeah, that's basically what is in my little weekend kit. So I'll do some close-up swatching, that way you guys can see it. All right, so I'm gonna start with my Stabilos here. This brand was introduced to me many years ago by my dear friend Maria. I think even back when we were in college, because she was obsessed with them, and then I very quickly also became obsessed with them. You can see here, you're getting a very thin, fine line there. So this is in black. Here it is in blue. Really nice, thin, good quality line. Have you guys ever used these before? What are your thoughts? I do quite like this purple color. So that's what those look like. My good old ballpoint pen. Can't go wrong. I mean, that's fun. Maybe there's some ballpoint artists here. We got our double-edged Sharpie. We got fine and ultra fine. It's funny that this is considered fine, because look, next to the other ultra fine nibs. Does anyone else like the smell of Sharpie, or is it just me? And then here's the ultra fine side. But yeah, you can see that bleed happening. Yeah, look at that. You can see that bleed through happening quite a bit on the Sharpie. But this is this particular sketchbook, so it's very fine paper. And I know in the sketchbook club, video, many of you were commenting on that. And speaking to the Arts Council, it is a cost effectiveness thing. It's $10 to get a sketchbook and to participate, and they give you a bunch of free supplies to play with at the club meetings. So I think it's pretty good value for the money. That's my personal opinion. Here's my Pilot pens. Ooh, that's nice. Very crispy. My next Pilot pen. A little bit of bleed on that one. Could just be how I laid it down. And I went over it twice. And then this sort of classic one. So there you go. That's the razor point. This is probably actually my favorite one that I tend to use from Pilot. And it is the thinnest. And once again, we can see the bleed through. Yeah, so really, if you're going over that twice, that's what's gonna happen if you have thin paper that you're working with. So let's try our Studio Series Microline. It's nice that it's archival because you can use that in other work. There you go. Pretty pink. Once again, if you're going over it several times. But I tend to work a lot with watercolor paper, and usually the sketchbooks I work in are like a mixed media or watercolor one, so it doesn't have as much of an effect, but it is good to see for this. I can't even tell you what the weight of this paper is, honestly, but you can see it's pretty thin. Just for fun, some of the other colors in this Microline series. That green that I was after. That's what I'll be doing after filming this video, is going back into that previous page and finishing with that green. Here's Prismacolor. Oh, so creamy, so soft. That's what this one looks like. Do any of you use Prismacolor in your work? What are your thoughts? Here's that pale vermilion. This is obviously out of a Premiere set. Ugh, so soft, so nice. I just love these colored pencils. We're doing one more for good measure. Oh, love this color. Peacock green. That's a nice little palette there. Hey, look, I'm doing a theme here, like pink or purple, orange and green. Staying on that theme, here's the Faber-Castell. And you can see it's a brush pen because they also have their fine liner sets. If it says B, it's a brush pen. This is what it looks like. You can see this is well used. So you can play with the intensity of those marks. I'm fascinated to try these Papermate metallics, since that seemed to be the main thing behind the promotion. This is like a gold one. Does that look metallic-y to you? Doesn't really look very metallic-y, in my humble opinion. It just looks like an ochre yellow, if I'm being honest. And then I'm guessing this is the silver one, which just looks like a gray. All right, Papermate, you got me. You got me with this one. And then here's what just one from the regular set looks like. No bleed on it, so there's that. This is a nice color, actually. You can see medium, so the nibs, yeah, fairly medium sized. Good for a small sketchbook still. All right, now we're going to try our cheap set of watercolors. Let's give them a crack. So this is my brush pen, very well loved and used. We'll dip it in the blue since it's already essentially tinted blue. So this is what it looks like when you squeeze it. And just get some water going in there. May have used too much water, but let's see. Well, it's quite pigmented, so there's that. This paper is so going to buckle with this much. I'm not mad at that blue though. It's quite nice actually. I really recommend these brushes for while traveling. It just makes it so easy. I can't say how many times I've used this brush on an airplane, for instance. You just bring it on the plane and then you can put a little water in it once you're boarded. Cool. And to just give it a quick rinse, I'm just gonna squeeze more water out of it. I have a tissue here. Just give this a quick clean and we'll try some of the other colors. So you can see that blue is quite different, but obviously it's just gonna depend how much water you put in it. So let me do the green and I'll just do a smaller amount here. Just wet the brush a little bit. So yeah, you're gonna get that lighter watercolor effect. I mean, not bad value, if I'm being honest, in my opinion. Just for a sketchbook, not too mad at that. All right, I'm gonna squeeze out that green there. Just have a tissue here, just give it a bit of a dab. Let's go for the red now. Get a bit of that in there. I mean, this will be fun to play with. That's cool. So yeah, I don't know anything about this brand that works with Target, so let me know if you guys have tried it out, what your thoughts are. But as I said, not too bad value for the money. Anyway, you can see getting a bit of that buckling, but the color's not bleeding through too much. But that was a fun little swatch session here. And now I can go back into my sketchbook and finish this page. This was the page I was working on yesterday with my new supplies. I might actually even do a watercolor background, so there you go. All right, my friends, let me know below what are some essentials for you when you're traveling, and if any of these fall into your favorites, I would love to hear about it. I'd also love to hear like new things that I haven't found that maybe you're trying out. So yeah, go ahead and comment that below. The other thing I'm going to share with you is I had someone contact me about their travel supply kit recently, which was sort of serendipitous timing, but that was a comment from watching my last video. They DM'd me on Instagram, which you can find me over there. It's linked below. It's also just at fionac.nyc if you want to give me a follow. This person went out, got themselves a larger travel kit, and sent me all these amazing photos, which I'll show you here, of what their kit looks like. They completely detailed it for me, everything that went into it and what they plan to do with it. And I thought that that was so amazing. I love hearing from you guys and seeing what you're doing with your art supplies and in your kit. So yeah, always feel free to just shoot me a DM over on Instagram, because it's really great to just share a love of art supplies with each other. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. give it a like if you did, subscribe to see more art content. And speaking of, I have some interesting videos coming up. I'm doing a complete studio makeover in my space, so those videos will be coming soon. I have a few art fairs coming up, or art markets, so you'll see some behind the scenes of that and what's going on during it. And I've also been filming studio tours with fellow artists who are amazing, and that's all going to be coming out this fall. So if you like seeing inside other artists' studios, seeing their art supplies and everything about that, you're really going to enjoy them. So please look forward to that. And for now, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay well and stay inspired, my friends. Bye.